Hello, my friends. Let's talk about the moment when everything goes wrong. The moment when the stakes are high, time is running out, and a wave of panic threatens to overwhelm your rational mind. In these moments, our brains, which are so brilliant at creative thought in times of calm, often short-circuit. We experience tunnel vision, our heart races, and we either freeze completely, unable to make a choice, or we make a rash, impulsive decision that we later regret. Why does this happen? It's because our ancient fight-or-flight response hijacks the controls from our modern logical brain. But the world's most effective performers, elite surgeons, airline pilots, special forces operators, and legendary investors, have learned to override this primal panic. Their secret is not that they have nerves of steel or a lack of fear. Their secret is that they do not rely on creative thinking in a crisis. Instead, they rely on a pre-installed mental checklist of simple, powerful thinking tools. They have trained themselves to deploy these mental models, to cut through the noise of fear and navigate the chaos with clarity. Today, we are going to give you 5 of these battle-tested mental models. These are not complex theories. They are simple, robust frameworks you can install in your own mind, ready to be deployed the next time you find yourself under pressure. This is the toolkit for thinking clearly when it matters most. Mental model number 1, inversion, the art of avoiding stupidity. The first model is a favorite of the Stoic philosophers and investing legend Charlie Munger. When we are under pressure, our minds race to find the single brilliant solution that will lead to success. But this is incredibly difficult when you're stressed. Inversion flips the problem on its head. Instead of asking, "How can I succeed?" you ask a much simpler question. What would absolutely guarantee that I fail? Imagine a project manager named Maria. It's 2 weeks before a high-stakes product launch, and bugs are appearing everywhere. The team is panicking. The path to a perfect launch is unclear and overwhelming. Instead of asking, "What do we need to do to make this launch a success?" Maria gathers her team and asks, "What are all the ways we could completely screw this up from here?" The answers are suddenly obvious. We could fail if we stop communicating with our stakeholders. We could fail if we try to add new features at the last minute. We could fail if we start blaming each other instead of fixing the bugs. The path forward becomes crystal clear. You simply avoid doing those things. Inversion simplifies a complex problem by forcing you to identify and eliminate the paths to certain failure. Often, this is all you need to find your way to success. Mental model number 2, second-order thinking, the "and then what" game. Under pressure, our brains crave a quick fix. We are desperate to solve the immediate problem in front of us. This is first-order thinking. Second-order thinking is the discipline of thinking through the consequences of that quick fix. It's the simple but profound act of asking, "And then what?" Let's imagine a CEO named David, whose company is facing a sudden economic downturn. His first-order, panicked thought is, "We need to cut costs immediately. Let's lay off 15% of our workforce." It's a simple, fast solution to the immediate problem of high expenses. But a wise board member asks him, "And then what?" David pauses. "Well, then our payroll expenses will go down." "And then what?" "Well, our remaining employees will be overworked and demoralized. Our best people, the ones with options, will likely update their resumes and leave." "And then what?" "Our customer service quality will plummet, and we'll start losing our most important clients. Our ability to innovate new products will grind to a halt." Suddenly, the obvious solution is revealed to be a long-term disaster. Second-order thinking is a crucial break on the impulsive, short-sighted decisions our panicked brains are so quick to make. It forces you to see beyond the immediate relief and consider the chain reaction you are about to set in motion. Mental model number 3, Hanlon's razor, the conspiracy killer. When something goes wrong, especially when it involves other people, Our stressed-out brains love to jump to the most dramatic and personal conclusion possible. They're sabotaging me. They did this on purpose to make me look bad. This paranoid thinking leads to anger, blame, and destructive confrontations. Hanlon's razor is a simple mental tool that diffuses this paranoia. It states, "Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by incompetence or neglect." Imagine you are waiting for a critical report from a colleague, Tom, right before a major deadline. He sends it, but it's the wrong version, full of errors. The malicious interpretation floods your mind. He's trying to undermine me. Applying Hanlon's razor, you take a breath and consider a different possibility. Perhaps Tom is juggling 5 urgent projects, got very little sleep last night, and in his haste, he simply attached the wrong file. Which scenario is statistically more likely? Almost always the latter. By assuming incompetence or stress instead of malice, you can approach Tom not with anger, but with a collaborative spirit. "Hey Tom, looks like the wrong version came through. I know you're slammed. Can we take 5 minutes to sort this out together?" This interpretation prevents you from destroying a relationship over what was likely just a simple mistake. Mental model number 4, the Eisenhower matrix, the triage tool. When you are under pressure, everything feels like a top priority. You are drowning in a sea of tasks that all feel both urgent and important. The Eisenhower matrix, used by President Dwight D. Eisenhower to manage the immense pressures of his command, is a simple tool for bringing order to this chaos. You draw a 4-quadrant box. The top left is for tasks that are urgent and important. These are true crises. Your job is to do these now. The top right is for tasks that are important but not urgent. These are your strategic, long-term goals. Your job is to decide when to do these. The bottom left is for tasks that are urgent but not important. These are often other people's priorities and distractions. Your job is to delegate these if possible. The bottom right is for tasks that are neither urgent nor important. These are time wasters. Your job is to delete these. Think of an ER doctor after a major accident. Every patient seems like an emergency, but she mentally triages. The patient with a blocked airway is urgent and important. Do. Scheduling a follow-up appointment is important but not urgent. Decide. Answering a non-critical page from another floor is urgent but not important. Delegate. This mental framework allows her to focus her finite energy on the things that truly matter, even amidst total chaos. Mental model number 5, the pre-mortem, the proactive failure simulation. Our final model is different. It's a tool you use before a crisis to prevent it from ever happening. Developed by psychologist Gary Klein, the pre-mortem is a powerful way to surface risks when the stakes are still low. The process is simple. Before kicking off a major project, you gather your team and say, "Imagine it is 1 year from now. We are looking back, and this project has been a complete and utter disaster. A total failure. Now, for the next 10 minutes, I want everyone to silently write down every possible reason why it failed." What happens is a form of prospective hindsight. By imagining failure as a certainty, it liberates people to voice concerns and risks they might have been too hesitant to mention before. Someone might write, "The project failed because our key supplier went out of business." Another might write, "It failed because our main competitor launched a similar feature right before we did." This exercise illuminates the potential landmines on your path before you step on them, allowing you to build contingency plans while you are still calm and rational. These 5 models are your mental checklist: inversion, second-order thinking, Hanlon's razor, the Eisenhower matrix, and the pre-mortem. You do not learn these during the emergency. You study and practice them in times of calm, so that when the alarms start blaring, your brain doesn't have to think. It just has to execute the checklist. This is how you forge mental armor. This is how you learn to think clearly, while everyone else is losing their head. I want you to think about a small, stressful decision you might have to make this week. Which one of these 5 mental models could you apply to bring more clarity to it? Share your plan in the comments below. If this has given you a new toolkit for thinking under pressure, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. We are dedicated to providing you with the frameworks to master your own psychology. And as your next step, I highly recommend you watch our video on how to overcome analysis paralysis, to understand the psychology of what gets us stuck in the first place. Click the link on your screen now. Thank you for watching.